Now, the cells that proliferate in the region of the primitive stick. In this diagram, we cut the KL axis, transverse axis, and this is the transverse KL axis. Focus. Now, this is the primitive stick. The cells in the primitive sticks that proliferate pass sideways. They passes sideways. Now they push themselves between the epiblast and the hypoblast. Now this blue, it is the epiblast and this is the hypoblast. Means the cells that are formed by the primitive sticks pass sideways between the epiblast and the hypoblast. It means there is a formation of the third layer, and this third layer is present between the epiblast and the hypoblast. And this third layer, it is known as the intra-embryonic mesoderm, or it is known as the secondary mesoderm. So now we have the two mesoderm. The first we have discussed in the second week of the development, that is the extra embryonic mesoderm, or that is the primary mesoderm, and this is present in the embryonic disc. That is why it is the intra-embryonic mesoderm. It is formed later on, so it is the secondary mesoderm. So it is the primitive stick that is formed by the epiblast cells. It forms the intra-embryonic mesoderm. Now it has the three layers: first, second, and the third. And as a result of it passes between the two layers, that is the epiblast and the hypoblast. The hypoblast layer displays these two layers. These two layers now separate, and this displaced hypoblast, now known as the definitive endoderm, it becomes the endoderm layer. It becomes the endoderm. The previous, it was hypoblast. Now it is separated by this intra-embryonic mesoderm that is formed by the primitive stick, and this primitive stick is formed by the epiblast. Now this hypoblast becomes the definitive endoderm layer. So there is a formation of intra-embryonic mesoderm and the endoderm. Now, the epiblast cells that lie lateral to the primitive stick. This is the pear-shaped embryonic disc. This is the prequarter plate, and this is the primitive stick. It becomes the linear structures. The epiblast cells that lie lateral to this primitive stick moves towards the primitive stick, enters into the primitive sticks, and they undergoes EMT. Means it is epithelial to mesenchymal transformation, through which the intra-embryonic mesoderm layer is formed, while the remaining cells of the epiblast now change into the definitive ectoderm. It is the formation of the definitive ectoderm. The remaining cells from this region, except the lateral part of this primitive stick, other cells of the epiblast change into the definitive ectoderm. So now it is the three layer. the epiblast that is directed towards the amniotic cavity. This is amniotic cavity. This becomes the ectoderm. The hypoblast that is directed towards the secondary yolk sac or yolk sac, it becomes the endoderm. And in between these two, it is the intra-embryonic mesoderm. So, the bilaminar embryonic disc change into the trilaminar. Now, this intra-embryonic mesoderm or secondary mesoderm that is formed, it is also known as the mesenchymal tissue. Mesenchymal tissue. And these cells are pluripotent capacity. They are the pluripotent cells. And these differentiate into the further stage of the development into the fibroblast, osteoblast, and the chondroblast. Means ultimately these cells forms the fibroblast, osteoblast, and the chondroblast. Now focus on this diagram. This diagram we have discussed in the previous class. In this diagram, if you remember, this is the amniotic cavity, this is the yolk sac, and this is the embryonic disc. This region, this change, it represents the procaudal plate, while this bulging, it is the amniotic cavity, this is the primitive streak. Then this cavity, that is known as the chorionic cavity. Now see the position of the connecting stalk. This is the connecting stalk, derivative of the extra embryonic mesoderm. In the second week, this embryonic disc along with the amniotic cavity and this yolk sac is suspended into this cavity. This cavity is the extra embryonic coelom, yeah, it is the chorionic cavity. So it is the position of the connecting stalk. Now, as the size of this embryonic disc increases, it becomes the tear sac. This is the embryonic disc. Now, this connecting stalk that is present above now shifted to the caudal end of embryonic disc. It is a tear sac, embryonic disc. This cranial end is broad. The head region, it is the broad, while this caudal end, it is the narrow, and this caudal end is connected with this connecting stalk. Means this connecting stalk is shifted to the caudal end of the embryonic disc. Now, there are a few important points. This formation of the primitive streak mentioned earlier, it is the first sign of the beginning of the gastrulation. Now, this cranial end of the primitive streak thickened to form the primitive knot or Hansen. This is the primitive streak. Now it becomes the linear structures present in the central axis or midline of the embryonic disc. This primitive streak. It has a cranial end. This cranial end is thickened, and this is the primitive knot or Hansen knot. Now, another point, this epiblast cells. This is an important point. It forms the three germ layers by the gastrulations: ectoderm, mesoderm, and the endoderm. These three layers are ultimately formed by these epiblast cells. These epiblast cells form the primitive streak. The primitive streak cells passes between the epiblast and the hypoblast, and when they are separated, hypoblast becomes the endoderm and the remaining epiblast becomes the ectoderm. So it is the epiblast that ultimately forms the 3 germ layers. By the process method, it is the gastrulation. Now this intra-embryonic mesoderm that is formed by the primitive streak present between the ectoderm and the endoderm of all region of the embryonic. It is present, this dot status. It represents the intra-embryonic mesoderm. It is present throughout the region of this embryonic disc except this line. Midline, or it is the central axis of the embryo. This intra-embryonic mesoderm is deficient, not present. And this region are precaudal plate, region of notochord, and the coracal membrane.